I would have bit your head off for the UFC title. I would have fought my father. Like, there was no shit there's nothing I would not have done to have been at the top.
What's good, people? We're back with another episode of Fierce Talk. Like always, got my co-host Scott Sullivan with me. I'm excited about today, man. This guy, he's a UFC fighter. He's also known as the Chosen One. He's a 5-time UFC welterweight champion. He's an actor, a stuntman. He's even a rapper. I mean, I'm going to have to hear his bars, but he does it all, really. Let's get it. Welcome to the show, Tyron. Thank you, bro.
What's up, man? I'm glad to be here, man. It's been an honor to just watch you grow. And I know the sky's the limit for you. So you already right there. And it's kind of crazy that you can only get better. That's very dangerous, for the boxing organization. So I'm honored and pleasure to jump on. I'm chopping up with y'all a little bit.
Yeah. So what's good, man? What's new? What's been happening?
Well, not much, man. Obviously I just fought recently, against Vicente Luque, a very tough opponent, brawler, but also a very technical striker as well. And just known to be real durable, real great in the final moments of the fight. He won 3 or 4 fights by finish, like less than 10, 20, 30 seconds left in the fight, and he was losing most of those fights. So I was trained and I was prepared for war, and I went in there. I had a fight, and I was fighting, and it felt good to be fighting. The outcome wasn't what I trained for and prepared for, but it felt good to let I'm still that dude. And I'm still trying to knock your head off, and I'm not slowing down.
Is there anything you would have did different in that fight?
Oh my God! Well, I don't regret the aggression at all. It was actually controlled chaos. I knew the risk and reward of everything I threw, and I was ready for it. And I don't think prior to the clipping of me when he snuck the punch, he was punching with me. I don't think he hit me before then.
Mm-mm.
It's not, if I really think about it. So I was dictating the pace. I was really setting the tone. I was really letting them know that this is my case tonight. I'm the one that's going to run the show tonight.
No, it definitely felt. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I want to.
You good?
Like, you definitely felt like that old Tyron Woodley, the one that would just come and bomb people out. That's what I think we were speaking on this before we hopped on. You were like my favorite UFC. Well, you still are my favorite UFC fighter, but like you were the one that got me into UFC, like to accept UFC, because your explosion with the hands, had me just saying, man, these guys are like special, man. They got this specialness to them. And it just gave me like motivation to be like, dang, I like UFC. And then I used you all the time on the game. UFC.
You guys both have highlight reel knockouts.
I know.
Both of you. You guys both
more than the MMA and more than just a respect. I think the reason that we kind of tie in, it was kind of ASAP. I met you at the boxing event. I think Logan was fighting KSI or something like that, and you were running the tables on the 1s and 2s, and I sat down on the couch for a bit. And I think hard work since it's hard work.
Yeah. And
people see the flash, just like the Titanic. You see the big iceberg at the top, but you don't see how long it took to formulate that water to make it cold inside of other water, to be able to grow to the point where it's poking out, where people have to force to look at it. Like, I can throw a little dirt on your feet, you can kick it out the way. If I keep piling dirt up in front of you, eventually you're gonna have to address me. You're gonna have to either walk around or try to walk through me. And I feel like at the end of the day, I sense that hard work. It's not just a quick punch. It's not just a fast hands. It's not just the crazy check left hook. It's not like the counter or the chin. It's you a worker. And you enjoy working. And when you find somebody that's gifted and they're built for the sport and they're a worker and they enjoy working, that's when it becomes dangerous, because the fear and the element of distraction or the element of hesitation don't exist. Those are the best fighters. The ones that react. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where my respect comes from. I'm a big fan of yours too, man.
Thank you, brother.
I watch you watch your punches in the fight, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Some people
slow
close their
down
eyes and bomb.
the fight, right? You can slow down the fight.
Yeah, for sure.
That was deep.
Always
watches you watch your punches.
Yeah. You
I'm dead
kind of
ass.
have a good, like a fighter's eye. You could kind of see like kind of what's going to happen before it happens. You know what I mean?
And I see traps being set, like, pop. You like start bee stinging motherfuckers with jabs. A real man got to try to jab you back. And that's just a counter right hand right there. So I watch traps being set,
Yeah.
And I never really wanted to fight. That's a funny, not MMA. Like my high school wrestling coach, short story, my high school wrestling coach, Mike Rogers, was a king of the cage and bare knuckle before then. And I watched him fight a couple of times without gloves. And I'm like, man, y'all motherfuckers crazy. I ain't never doing that, ever. And I went to college and I wrestled. I was All-American twice at University of Missouri. I was a Big 12 champion there. I was like 6th or 7th on the Olympic ladder trying to make an Olympic team in wrestling. And I really just had so many surgeries that my shoulder was just, I couldn't even really wrestle. Couldn't underhook, couldn't grab, couldn't grip. And I didn't have the money to even pay for the surgery. So as a businessman, I started teaching at this little MMA gym called American Top Team, which I didn't know what the fuck American Top Team was. I had no clue. It was like a satellite school. So I go there to basically get insurance from working there to get my shoulder repaired, right?
Oh.
And, I was just, training a little bit, but I didn't know what American Top Team was. All I knew was I was a wrestler and I wanted to kind of try to fight. I didn't know if I wanted to do it or not. But that's how I got into it. But what I really always wanted to do was box. My whole life, it's the only sport I've ever wanted to do is box.
That's interesting.
And,
how did you get the hands that you got? Because you had a wrestling background, but how do you like define your style? Because I mean, you just knock people out.
My style is like this. Like
your style is knock them out. That's the style.
But it's like the shooter respect the shooter. The reason why I understand what you're doing when you're watching your punches or you setting the trap is that's what I do. I might feint, I might level change, I might stutter, I might punch to the body, I might punch to the head, I might even just flinch because you got to respect the right hand. Too many people die by the sword. You can't disrespect it. So a flinch shows me how they're gonna react to it. And when I'm really at my best and I'm really putting it together like I was, for this training camp, especially in the sparring and things like that, I'm putting all those things together and I give you so many things to think about.
Yeah.
That when it's time, if you overreact on one thing, I just have the ability to get to you, from me to you, really fast. And it's fast when you watch it, but when you're in there with me, I might just bounce and I might just drift towards you.
Right.
I don't go where you can see it. So like you may see this, and all of a sudden I'm drifting, almost warping towards you, and it's too late. And I've saw the chin, I saw the temple, I saw the jawline, and I'm not even thinking about the punch. I've never been in a fight saying, I never punched as hard as I can ever in a fight. I don't even know why. I just never thought about it. All I'm thinking is, let me get my 2 knuckles to your face as fast as I can. And sometimes the explosiveness of getting there, that's where the power really comes from, your body and throwing it. And you get that, watch your left hook, it's the same thing. It's just, it's a swag and a bounce. And it's what? And it's your hips. That's what's really punching the person.
It's kind of finding your rhythm. Like it's like a quick burst. Like you find that quick rhythm. And if they're off balance or off position, they're done. Like they're going to get caught with this shot. It don't matter.
And I love left hooks.
Yeah.
Mine was so garbage for so many years. I just admire your cold ass left hooks.
No, it's weird. Like so many people, like I watch them throw the left hook. They just can't get that twerk on it. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. Like I feel like it comes second nature. I just wing it like a slingshot. You know what I mean? But kind of like your right hand though, but on the opposite.
That's how I feel about my right hand.
Yeah,
I don't even think about it. It's not even a thought. But my left hook, like I can say, I've been fighting MMA for 16 years. Since 2005, I started fighting. And up until my last 2 training camps, I never felt good about a left hook. But now I know I can knock you out with it. Before I didn't even want to throw it because it was embarrassing to me.
And now I kind of want to go. I kind of want to go back to your fight though. Your fight with your last fight, right? I think we could have talked a little bit more about how if you felt like you could do something different, right? You told me that your mom was in the back room and she was hyping you up. Hey, if anybody knows about mama's hyping you up before fights, you're looking at them. My mom's everywhere with me.
Hey, Mama Woodley is notorious for it too. So basically, I reached out to the UFC and I'm like, I'm fighting this fight and I want my mom to be here because I know I've seen celebrities there. And you never know, man. You'll never know what's promised for you. It could be my last walk. It could be, you don't know. My mom has been in every single fight. She's never missed a fight. To be honest, she missed one fight ever just because at that time I was so broke. I didn't have the money to fly her out. I'm just be dead ass. I couldn't afford to fly my mom to the fight. You know what I mean? We weren't making money like that. I was fighting on Showtime, but I was making $2,500 to fight. You know what I mean? 3 times a year, you do the math. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. When I came up with Strike Force Challengers, I was out there for 2,500 on TV. So at the end of the
disrespectful.
Yeah, it's borderline.
I feel
borderline assault,
it is, man.
That's the borderline assault,
man. I feel bad. Sometimes I really do. My heart is with UFC fighters, bro, because like I feel like you guys go through so much, man, and just don't.
There's so many different sports.
They just don't pay you though. Like that's the crazy thing about it. Like boxers, there's some dudes that I'm like, you're not even good yet. They're getting paid like $1 million, $2 million. I'm like, what the freak, dude? You're not even like. I'm like, what?
You can get a bag in the UFC, but the thing is to get there, it's so many variables that they got. There's so many variables that have to go well for you that has nothing to do with the fight. In boxing, you cannot be a talker, you cannot be a showman. If you can fight and you beating people that can fight, they gotta pay you. Your manager ain't stupid. He know what that title fight is worth. You know what this person is worth. He may be the A, you may be the B. He knows how to project that.
Right.
If this person is getting 20 million, I bet he'd be getting 11 or 7 or something like that. They kind of know based on where you're at how to do that. So, and my sport is not like that. The guys that are making the most money are the non-title fights. What? You mean to tell me the person that lost in the playoffs of the NBA is gonna make more than the Lakers that won it? No, that's insane. Like there's no real. That's crazy. There's no real commitment and loyalty and discipline to calling it the sport. It's no longer a sport. Yeah. So I just started to govern myself as business. Yeah. And people didn't want to see me wrestle because nobody really liked that shit. Even though it's dominant, even though it's taxing on your body, and it's probably the hardest sport you can ever do. But people want to see speed. They want to see power. They want to see people get knocked out. So what I did was I spent the first 8 years of my career secretly training at Wildcard Boxing. From 2000.
I was going to add that too, because your hands are too good. They're too good.
No, I've been training with Eric Brown since 2007. Yeah. Eric Brown is one of the senior trainers at Wildcard Boxing. He's training everybody. Back out fight. Tony, anybody, Kid Chocolate was the first person.
He was training Peter Quillen.
That was Wildcard West.
Yeah, Wildcard West. Yeah, that's where Canelo was at too. Yeah. So Eric and I have been working together since 2007. But at that time, I didn't have the money to consistently train with him enough, and I had kids, and I couldn't really just leave my city. So I kept it on a hush because somebody like GSP or somebody that was single with our kids, they can take my rubric and they can really just do it 30 times better than me because they didn't have the responsibilities and they probably had more money. So I kept it on the hush. But I figured that if I'm already a 2-time All-American wrestler, right, it's going to be very hard for even a wrestler just to take me down. Let's know somebody that's a not wrestler. So I spent 85% of my training on boxing because I figured if I can dictate the fight, if somebody kicked me, I can walk through and punch them. If somebody try to take me down, I can stop them. And if I put a striker in a position, which I've done in every one fight, if I put a striker in a position where they can't outstrike me, and I'm actually outstriking them, Paul Daly, Tarek Safadine, Robbie Lawler, Wonderboy Thompson. I beat everybody in their best. Yeah,
that Wonderboy Thompson fight. That fight was nuts.
That was my hardest fight because he literally, I spent $100,000 on training camp just trying to put somebody in front of me that can even do a thing that he can do. I had to bring in the only person that beat him, Raymond Daniels. Wow. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Sage Northcutt.
Since you're so accomplished at wrestling, what do you think makes Khabib so talented at what he does? Like, what's different about him?
Khabib just has great static strength. A lot of those European wrestlers have that. I went to Russia and wrestled for a month, man, a world tour in wrestling. And their ability to grab, for people that may not know what the fuck static strength is, to grab something and squeeze it, that's your static strength. And how long you can hold that at that same pressure. So Ben Askren has crazy static strength. In college, he used to rear naked choke a soccer ball. We all touch his muscles to make sure he flexes. He can do it straight for 6-7 minutes nonstop. Everybody else was done in like 2 or 3 minutes, shaking the
like full power, like without
full power, no bullshit. Go on YouTube, you'll watch them busting fucking watermelons and like, you know what I mean? But I was his training partner for years.
Hey, watch out, Jake Paul. You're done once you get to the ground.
Hey, if you get into a clinch with him, it's over.
No, it's over with. And I felt it because when he came into college as a freshman, he didn't really have a lot of power, right? So I would be able to kind of muscle him around a little bit, right? And then the next year, literally 1 year later, I would lock up with a body lock with him. He would lock up with me, and then slammed each other. I slammed him. He slammed me. And I'm like, I was the big brother 2 days ago. And then one time we slammed each other and bust each other eye wide open. And we both got stitches. And then guess what? We bandaged up and we went right back in there. And people thought we was fucking crazy.
Oh, so you and Ben are close. You guys are close.
No, Ben was a fresh. Part of the reason why Ben went to the University of Missouri is because of me.
No,
I was one of the guys that put the school on the map. Yeah, it was me and my roommate were the guys that put the school on the map. I won the first Big 12 title ever in Mizzou's history. I was an All-American twice there. I did it my sophomore year. The other guy, my roommate, he was an NCAA finalist. Ben liked the program and he wanted to come there. And when Ben came there, I was a junior and he was a freshman. I've known Ben for a minute.
That's crazy.
Yo, you know what?
That is crazy, bro.
But I didn't answer your question. Khabib has that static strength. So he knows that. So he needs to do whatever he can to get close enough to grab you. Once he grabs you, he'll lock you. If he can't take you, he'll trip you. And once he gets you there, he has that heavy, dumpy power. And he's just relentless with pressure, relentless with position. And he's so many chess moves ahead because all they do is drill. That's why wrestlers pick up striking quickly. Because we drill so many times. It's not like, all right, come on, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, I got a coach. No, it's like 9,000 of these. If you don't want to do a single, sometimes we just be walking around the house and I start grabbing my sister's leg and start wrestling. And like, what the fuck you doing? Leave us alone. Like you ever see, you see a boxer's kind of shadow boxing.
Right.
Put that on overdose that times 20. Because we do so, like we start practice with, all right, 5 minutes straight, one fucking shot, no finish yet. Another shot with the finish. Now switch this to that one, not to that one. So when you get in those situations, you don't think. That's why you see wrestlers scramble when they're in those dimensions. And that's kind of that's the biggest advantage Ben has in the fight against Jake. I know we ain't on that topic yet, but
right.
It's not about who can fight and who can box. Like he's been swung at by so many world champion fighters.
Yeah.
And he's been on the world class, like Olympics, ONE FC,
everything.
Bellator, NCAA. He's been at the top every time. And he's managed to be clutch in those positions. So
find a way.
Never count it out. Yeah, always. His whole wrestling style was on finding a way. He was slow and he was weak. So he wanted to get to the leg. And he'll tell you, that's my dog.
Yeah.
He said I was slow and I was weak. But I can grapple and I can scramble. And it wasn't a style yet. Him and my dog, Mike Ironman, created that scrambling style. It wasn't even people scramble, but the way Ben scrambled is an offense that breaks every fundamental rule of wrestling. Everything they tell you never to do, he did. So he developed that style on the whole notion that I'm going to take you down, I'm going to get to your leg, but you're stronger, you're faster than me. So every time I get to your leg, you're going to sprawl and squish my head down or put heavy hits on me. So he had to find a way to get around that. That's when he created scrambling. He put himself in a position that was completely unacceptable in any little league, any high school, any fundamental coach would never tell you to do it. So when you're in that bad spot, what does a person get? False sense of hope. Oh shit, this motherfucker on his back. Let me just jump on him. But when you go through, you took the bait. Soon this is on you. Now you in a cradle, now you getting taken down, and you're not prepared for it. You don't have that person in your room to spar with. So now you think you in shape. And you're like, damn, he in shape. He's better than me. I can't get my normal shit. What am I going to do? That mental, you know about the mental anxiety. That'll make him that's ready for a marathon can't do a 3K.
No, 1000%. Like, that's why I try to tell everybody, like, if you don't got that under control, it don't matter how in shape you are, you're going to get tired no matter what. And that's what I strive to do in the ring. You know, when a person, if I could feel them not liking this position, I'm going to keep them there because they obviously just don't like it. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that a lot of fighters should try to do. At least I think, you know what I mean? With well,
you say it so easily. You know why? Because you can box in close. You can box out long. You can counter box. You can punch and weave with the punches. You can slip. You can make the person miss. Some people don't have that.
Right.
So they may land one good body shot, but they're not sufficient at body work.
Yeah.
They didn't put the money in the bank in the gym. Yeah. So they may hurt them with that one shot, but they can't keep going there because they ain't ready. That's not in their repertoire. Yeah. They got to get this uppercut or this left hook that's not open.
Because they practice like these certain type of combinations where they feel like they have to land. But I practice like one single punch, like kind of like wrestling, a single punch multiple times over and over and over again. So I could keep throwing the same punch with the same velocity, and I don't gotta, if it's landing, I'm not gonna really switch it up unless you could fix it. Like for example, you were telling me before we got on about how you throwing the right hand, right, with your fight with Vicente, and somebody was screaming out, he's gonna throw that overhand. That's all he's gonna throw. Yeah. I think at that moment,
I should have threw that. I should have stopped and said, "Hey, you're right. I'm about to throw it right now. Bow."
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Just throw that haymaker and be like, "Stop it, then." All right, I'm gonna throw. Stop it. Stop my shot. You know what I mean? I've obviously was cheering for you, but I was so excited because you was popping him with that right hand. Bink, bink. Bink, hurt him. His whole head was wobbly. I'm like, one more, baby, one more. And I was like, no.
I knew it was one more. I knew it was one more. I know that look when you trying to play it off. Like, nah, nigga, you hurt. I gotta get you. You hurt.
When the man does this, he's not doing bachata. He's gonna throw one haymaker. That's why I was like, no.
And I knew that because when I watched the tape on him, like I watched a lot of tape on him. When I watched the tape, he would get hit with hard shots, boom, boom, and he would tucker, and he would come back punching, right? And very few people hurt him. The people that hurt him, he wanted to cover longer. He was less likely to try to punch back. So when I hit him, and he just stood there, and I saw his hands kind of going, I saw his legs move, I said, get on him. Because one thing that I did when I fought Robbie, it's this guy named Reed Kuhn. He's called Fightonomics. He's like an astronaut scientist. He would break down every step, every time he threw a jab, every time he turned this way, everything you can know about a person, he has it broken down to a science, that's right?
Too much for me.
So that's what I used to do. So basically I did that. And it told me that basically someone has been knocked out so many times, if you get on their chin fast and very hard, not the pushing punch, right? The quick turnover. You know what I mean? If you do that, your chances to knock them off triple earlier in the fight. He said also the way that Robbie faces is flat, right? So he's meant to hunker down. When you punch him straight on, his chin tucked back, he sinks into it. So when you watch his fight against Johnny Hendricks, it's like, dum, 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 dum. Oh, we love this. This is the greatest fight ever. It's fucking not. They're not blocking. They're not defending. They're not doing the sweet science, right or wrong.
You know, you're right. Right about that. So I set a trap. I knew he remembered when I used to go to his gym when I was an amateur fighter and I used to wrestle and I used to swing his ass around like a monkey bar. He could not even pay to stop me. I swear to you, guys are my witness. The gym called Hit Squad. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri right now. It's 20 minutes from my house in Illinois. Matt Hughes, GOAT, and Robbie Lawler and Matt Pena made a gym called Hit Squad. So I used to travel there just to train with Robbie, just to train with Matt Hughes. I was an amateur fighter, right? That's where I took the belt from. But when I used to wrestle him, I wasn't even going for it. I was like, wow, he's just falling over and stuff, right? Then Matt Hughes said, no, let me get in there. Let me see what it's about. So now I'm like, do I like try to school this dude in his own gym? And he's like the greatest welterweight. Like, how do I do? Like, I can't let him get over on me, but I can't try to turn up on him either. I don't even know what to do, right? So we get to the point where I started wrestling Matt Hughes, and then I just basically made him know that if I wanted to, I probably could have. And then if he tried, I shut every fucking thing down. You're not scoring on me, right? So I wanted it to be 0. So we got done. I just had that respect from him from that day forth. So when I got in that fight, I don't forget that. So when I level change and I faked the leg and I faked the leg and I faked the leg, and he dropped all his hands down, right? So now I circle the other way, play it off, circle back around, get back in front of him. Let me do that again. I know he's going to do the same thing. So I feint high, feint low. The second I saw those hands go from here, I was already punching. Watch the video. When his hands did this, my body was already in projection. There's no way he was going to get his hands back up to do nothing.
And then you had his head up against the cage so he couldn't tuck his chin in.
It was over with before them. That was unnecessary. That was the referee. The referee didn't see me work. but when I hit him on that side, and you watch where I land the punch. The punch is landed right here, what I talk about. You know, you get hit right here, your equilibrium go off. Your arm probably can't move for a little bit. It's a lot different than getting hit right here on the chin.
Yeah, oh yeah. When you get hit on the temple, you're pretty much
and the jawline right here.
And the jawline.
Just makes your arm go down. You know what I mean? I had to get knocked out like that. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, hold on. He did. I'm like, actually, let me do that to somebody else. I can't even watch it and be mad. I watch it like, damn, he that dude up. And I rewind it.
Oh man. I love your outlook, man, on just the wins and the defeats, man. The wins and the defeats.
I'm not always like that though. I'm gonna be real with you. When I lost to Usman, when I lost my belt, I was depressed for a minute, man. I had some mental health issues. I never thought I was gonna lose. I thought my last loss was my last loss. I positioned myself and I trained and I knew all these like the back of my head. And I thought my toughest on paper fight opponents were behind me. Carlos Condon and big ass Darren Till and Robbie Lawler and Koscheck and Roy McDonald and Nate Marquardt and Jake Shields. And like people be forgetting. Like I done fought a lot of them, right? And I beat most of them. And I beat most of them when I wasn't supposed to beat them. Or they were the up and coming young fighter, the Darren Till, the Wonderboy, Kevin Gastelum, Tarek Saffiedine, Jordan Me, and those are all the prospects that they thought I was bumping the roadblock to get to, and they had me fucked up. So at the end of the day, it's not always that way mentally, but I came out of that, man. I was in a hole for a couple of years, man. And I think it was just, I didn't get the revelation that I have now. You got to live, and it's something for you, Ryan. You look pretty clean cut, straight up and down. Yeah. But when you get to the top, your access to things increase. The VIP treatment increases. The women increase. The fame increased. And I started to fall in love with that lifestyle. Right. And it was just all when I'm in LA thing, or just for the press conference thing, or this after the party thing, to becoming every week, every weekend, every day. Yeah. And then it got to the point where I was spending so much money. I blew through so much cash, and I was like, it went so fast, so quick. And it was like, and I'm not broke, people, because everybody do that. I'm living okay. I'm doing all right. So when people hear that, and it's me being transparent, that when you live in what you thought, when you see it from the bottom, you're like, damn, I want that. And you get that and you start living it. That's not a life. That's falsehood. That's a facade. It's an illusion. And it took me to really, and I was in that. So I wasn't living right. I wasn't doing right, but I was winning. But my confusion was the fact that I was training like I had everybody on every stat. I told you all the notes I was pulling, all the film I was watching, the money I spent in training camps and partners. And, I secluded myself. I had all my training partners taken care of, eating well, doing well, geared up. You know what I mean? I did that big because it paid off. I won big. I made a lot of money real quick. Right. And nobody expected me to do it. But I was confusing myself, and I was really deceiving myself that, well, shit, I'm all over chasing these girls and doing all this bullshit, and I'm still winning. These lives are separate. My personal life and what I do right here is separate from my professional, because obviously I'm killing it. I'm way up over here, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? But it took me to recognize that it's called karma, and it's also called sowing and reaping for people that believe. Right. I sowed the seeds in the beginning, the 7 years I was chasing God, the 7 years I was chasing the title that I didn't even know what it even was at. I didn't know we had it, but I knew I was chasing it. I wasn't going to do this hard-ass sport just to make it to somebody's UFC. No, I wanted to be the best from the start. From the beginning, I wanted to be the best. There was no question. Right. So the things God showed me in the beginning, ending at the top and being the greatest welterweight of all time. That's why I say that, because I saw it. People laugh, but I saw it already. Yeah. But what happened was the road could have been straight there, but I made some detours left and right because I dipped the seed in the bad soil. And guess what came out? Yeah, shit. Thornbush, Usman, Thornbush, Gilbert, Thornbush, Kobe. No matter how hard I trained in that fight or that fight camp, those seeds were just being put in the ground. But I had to pay up for what I did before. Right. So when I came out in this fight, I was confident that the last Thornbush was Kobe. Right? I was adamant about that, and it was the outcome. I can't, like my guy told me this. He said, "Be performance centric. Right. Focus on performance." We can't control outcome. We can't control if you get clipped with a shot. We can't control if a judge decided that the other motherfucker won the fight and like, where was you at? We can't control it. We can't control a bad call. We can't control a cut, a foul. We can't control it. But what we can control, and this is our one thing as creatures of free will, we can control if we go, right? And something was stopping me from going. And my victory in the last fight is I got rid of that. Whatever the fuck it was, the brakes got taken off, and I was in there that night.
Yeah,
you know
no,
I mean?
I've seen it, man. God is good. God is good.
God is good for sure.
I feel like I get a sense of like, even if you didn't win, you won. You know what I mean? Because you got that sense of I'm back. I feel it in my heart too. That's why I just had a sense to hit you up after too. Like I didn't really reach out to a lot of people, but I just knew I was like, you know what, I'm gonna reach out.
My nephew sneaking into the studio.
Tell him what's up. Yeah, man.
Ryan Garcia said what's up.
Yeah. I just was like, you know what? I feel like Tyron, I see it. I just see that he's in a good place, even though you lost. Like I knew you were in a good place. And I was like, you know what? I wanted to train with him. I want him to train with me. And that's why I invited you, man. Felt in my heart.
And I appreciate that, man, because at the end of the day, it's like this. I do a lot of training with younger people all the time because I never want to forget the spark. And I never want to forget, you know, how hungry I was and what I would be willing to do. I would have bit your head off for the UFC title. I would have fought my father. Like, there was no shit there's nothing I would not have done to have been at the top because I was so close so many times. I never won the NCAA tournament. I won a state championship, but I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't go, I didn't beat this person out or some bullshit, or I was an All-American, but I never won it there. Like I knew, I was like, God, man, you showed me doing, like, I thought I was going to go to NFL. I told my mom, I'm going to go to NFL. I'm going to buy you a house. So then I went the wrestling route, and I'm like, I didn't end the way I wanted to. So when I got into MMA, I'm like, this is my last chance really in a sport. Like, I'm not going to start this and then jump into lacrosse after this.
Committed it.
I gotta turn up on this one. You know what I mean? I gotta get it in this one. And that's kind of where my mind has always been. So it's like when you think about training with a young cat that's in that spot, like, you know, I don't know, man. I may have just blessed you right there because that lifestyle, you own it, man. You there.
No.
You can't, ain't nowhere you can't get into right now. Ain't no shit you can't get into
that's
right now. Like, literally.
That's the thing. I learned real quick because I was already doing that. And I was like, you know what? This is not even me. Like I could feel myself like just a sense of like just not happy, not motivated. It's just like I told everybody, it's just an illusion. It's a lie, man. They say man. You know, when you get up there, this is just how it is. It ain't how it is, man. You could be a good person and be the best fighter of all time. You don't got to be you know what I mean? You don't got to have the chains. You don't got to have any of that. You could be the person you were from the start and be the person you were at the end and still give glory to God, still have faith, and still be the best. There's nothing, don't change anything. You were doing great. You know what I mean? The world will tell you got to be a certain way. You don't got to be no type of way but yourself and have the same belief you were when you were first started. And that's it. You don't got to change nothing. You know, God's going to open up the doors that you need to be open. And I was like, you know what? I'm myself. I'm not going to let nobody define me who I am. I'm not going to let a YouTuber tell me how I got to be. I'm not going to let, and look, I wasn't even easy influence. It's just when you're around that all the time, you kind of think things are okay. Like they're so normalized in front of you. They're like, oh, that's okay because it's just around you. Like, nah, that's not okay. I don't care. This ain't okay. Right. And then I just had that, like, just thought to myself was like, you know what? This ain't it. I'm a family man. I'm a person that loves God. I'm sticking to that. And I'd rather lose like that. I'd rather lose, you know, being a good person, the person I know I want to be, than to be that shitty person that was out partying all the time and then I end up losing anyways. Because which one do you want to lose when you're a good person? Or do you want to lose when you're a shitty person? And I'm not saying people that party are shitty. I'm just saying some actions but that's them. The thing about it, if they party, that's them. Nobody's in a position to judge. You're not judging. You're just saying that wasn't you. So like in my mind, I was like this. It was me at that time. And it was fucked up, but it actually it became me. Like I was training Denzel Washington for Equalizer 2. You know that fight scene that he had the fucking credit card and the dudes at he was like the Lyft driver. So we designed that scene. We trained him for that scene, right? It was one of the best moments of my life.
But I was there and I was going through some shit, man. I was like going through a divorce and I had like this toxic relationship and I was fucking, my head was everywhere. I was like, man, did I do something that bad? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, he asked a question and I don't know why. Something in my spirit said, just ask him, right?
Right.
And I'm like, how did you do it, man? And I knew he knew what I was saying right when I first said it. Because think about how many temptation he has, Denzel Washington.
Oh yeah, man.
Like he may be in the top 3 or 4 of men that's been most tempted by females because of his ability to act, play different roles, the way he looked. He became like, oh man, you think you Denzel? Why? He became an actual reference of if you was attractive, right?
100%.
So I asked him. He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "How did you resist, man, all the temptation and stuff like that? Because it's consuming me. I had to be real. I just poured out. Man, I was in there crying. He said, I'm X amount of million to the good, meaning that my name is clean. I ain't owe no taxes. I ain't selling no dope. And guess what? I'm Denzel Washington. I don't dress well. My toenails ain't clipped. I don't know what this haircut is. My wife's dressing. He said, but I'm Denzel Washington. I ain't no D-Money. I ain't no Zelle. I ain't nothing else. He said, I am that. He said, when I walk into a place in a room, I know ain't nobody have my woman. Now you think about that while you out here running the streets, right? And he told me to go away where I can hear from God, where I can get away from the noise, get away from the people, get away from all that stuff. And I didn't want to let him down. So I left, went to Denver, close to Denver. And I went up there and I had no phone reception, mountains, fucking bears, water, cabin. And I didn't have no phone, no social media, no nothing for a week. And I went up there. When I came back, I was like, yeah, you know, I felt good about making that commitment. Because for me, I'm always on social media. Imagine going a whole week with no TV, no social media, no contact with nobody else, and just praying, reading, meditating, rehabbing, and just trying to really unlock what you needed to do, right? So I did that. But he motivated me to do that. But the whole point of it is be yourself.
Right.
I'm this all the time, right? Some people like it. Some people don't understand it, but I'll never switch it. I don't have to flip a switch. I don't have to be like, oh, this and this. Yeah. If I want to wear a hoodie, I'm going to wear a hoodie. If I want to wear some Chucks and a new Boys in the Hood shirt, I'm going to wear that. I don't give a kind of wearing a tuxedo. Wear a tuxedo if that's what you want to do. If I want to step out and wear a custom suit and throw on some crazy ass shoes and look fly, and everybody look like slop, then I'm going to do what I want to do. So at the end of the day, it's like this. I can be this at all times, no matter what, no matter who. In front of my mom, when I get the phone, I'm not going to change my tone. I'm not going to have a corporate voice like, hello, this is Tyron Woodley. Hey, what's up, dog? No, everybody. If I feel like, hey, what's up, dog?
Yeah.
You're going to get, hey, what's up, dog?
Yeah.
As well as my dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I am. And people respect that. And people can mess with that because there's so much falseness in Hollywood. There's so much clout chasing. There's so much hidden agenda.
Man, preach, bro.
Nothing is real. Nothing is real. So many people were so all tired. I want to do some music with you. Oh my God, let me make a fight song. Let me come out with you. I got this music. The second I lost my belt, not even the second, right from the time the other person got the hand up, all the flights went from first class to this. All the you sitting back here, everybody don't return a phone call. It's like that.
Just like that, man. Just like that. That's why, man. That's facts right there. That is like something that I think a lot of people need to hear. That when you get to the top of the Hollywood, or you want to call
Hollywood.
Don't
steal my shit. That's a t-shirt. Me and Ryan, put that out. That's me and Ryan t-shirt. Don't play.
I was already right. I was writing it down. Hollywood.
It's just like I said. It's hard to find genuine people that are really out for you. You know, it's hard. It's hard to see somebody and say, dang, man, you seem like a cool person, but you also seem like you're going to want to get in some type of business with me. But why?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I rather just, I always strive just to meet people that just have similar, not similar beliefs, but a similar heart to be genuine, to be like, hey, man, if you need help, I don't need anything. I'm just here to be like, yo, I got this for you, man.
Yeah.
You need it. You know, if you feel it in your spirit, you know what I mean? Your spirit leads you and just says, yo, I'm going to hit up Tyron, right? Just like you felt to be led to say, yo, Denzel, how do you do it? Right?
Man, I'm glad I did.
That is really what it matters, man. Being filled with the Holy Spirit, man, and just living by it, right? Living by it and trusting that. And I'm happy to hear Tyron Woodley speak on that. Man, he's a champ.
Man,
this man's a champ. Come at him.
There, man.
Now I'm on his team. Now I'm on his. Who wants to work? I'm about to come work.
Want them hands.
Come on now. Hey, man, I know you trained at Wildcard West, but I got some tricks on my sleeve. I want to show you some moves that I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to use a lot.
All right.
Hey, but you got to show him some stuff.
Oh yeah,
he wants to fight MMA.
I do.
He wants to fight MMA.
I do, bro. I do.
Me and my coach Dean Thomas. Like, if anybody, like when Clarissa wanted to come over to MMA, I was like the first one she hit up. My coach, Dean, him and BJ Penn were the first two in our sport that was respectable boxers and respectable jiu-jitsu players, which means that they can maybe knock you out, flying knee you, or they can maybe break your arm. So if someone had to be forced to take them down because they could outbox them, now they're in almost a worse situation because grappling was their base. If somebody was better at boxing them, then they can take them down and put them on the ground and try to change the tables around, right? So when you think about training someone from boxing, where I came in the picture is, that's why BJ brought me out to train. I started off, my coach, Dean Thomas, I was his coach. I was a wrestling coach in MMA. After Ultimate Fighter 1 happened, all the wrestlers came in. And the UFC was like, what the are these cauliflower ear troll looking, what are they doing? Like, I can't hit him. I had this combination set up right for him, and he just dove on my legs. And the jiu-jitsu guy that got this rubber guard that's been doing submission since he was 2, the wrestle's so heavy and so positional and so square, you can't move your hips, which no submissions exist without your hips. So we became a problem. And then our drilling mentality allowed us to drill boxing real fast. We had the explosiveness from wrestling. We were tough. We already just grind all the time. So MMA, there was no problem. I was the highest demand wrestling coach. I was trying to cross the country.
He's a trainer. This dude's he's a trainer. He's gonna be a trainer.
I know. I'm already signing up.
I'm saying that because I know how to. If Floyd Mayweather was a wrestler, I can show him how to be unstoppable the same way he was unstoppable in boxing. Because I know the footwork. The footwork is very similar to wrestling footwork.
Don't show him that.
Keeps you out of position. He said, "Don't show him that."
Come on,
show Ryan that.
But it puts you in position to strike. It puts you in position to always have. You always got to have all right. Come on there and get that. That's what I always had. It was a keep coming forward. I'm gonna slam you or get this right hand. I think I started throwing so many right hands. It felt so good when you hit them and they down and they like, damn, all right, well. I won. Oh, shit, I can't lose today. You know that moment, right? When you win, it's like a half a second, like, oh, shit, I won. I get more money. I can fucking talk shit if I want to. I can do, I'm on to the next fight. Make more money. Like, we don't really think about it until right then.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And our crazy ass do it all again, over and over and over again for that one little 2-second period.
That brings me to the question, like, after all your career is done, what do you want to be known for? And what is Tyron Woodley?
I want to be known for kind of what you alluded to. I want to be known for everybody told no, counted out, said I wouldn't do it. And I started proving everybody wrong. And that was my motivation. But then I shifted it halfway through and I had to prove my people that respected and believed in me right. And I never bent. I never wavered. I was too expensive for the industry to ever afford me. I never sold out. I always spoke what I believed, even if it cost me some bags, which it did. And I was one of the best that ever did it. God obviously created me for this sport. And I used every fucking adversity, every gang banging, every person that told me no, every obstacle. And I use that and I express that shit artistically in the cage. I can do anything. I can do music. I can do TV. I can do podcasts. Yeah. I can go and do the weather. If you throw a canvas in front of me, it may not be Picasso, but it ain't going to be Crayola. I can do anything. And that's what I believe. And people that look at me, hopefully they make them believe. And they look at themselves like, you know what? I'm going to rise up. I'm going to go big. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like everybody has their purpose here on earth?
I feel like everybody got their purpose. And I feel like it's harder to locate our purpose now on earth because people got so much access to social media. So you see fame, you see stardom, you see instant Hollywood, and people start saying, I want that. Not I want to do what God has for me to do. Not I want to do what I'm gifted. Like you're gifted at what you do. You created. Beyonce's created to sing. LeBron James created to slam on a right?
Yeah.
People can work so hard to become something that they see somebody else having success in. If you're a personal trainer and you hate coming to work and you hope your clients cancel, God didn't create you to be a personal trainer. He didn't.
No.
If you at work and you're miserable and you hate your boss and you don't about to have mental health, God didn't create you to be a worker. He created you to be an entrepreneur, and you're too scary to drop your balls or whatever else you need to drop to jump out the plane.
Because God didn't make us scared. He made us courageous.
God did not give us a spirit of fear.
No.
So if he didn't give it to us, then who gave it to us?
Oh, man. Shoot. Yeah, so, okay. Man, this is a random question. Do you believe in aliens?
I believe in everything. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe
me too.
And I believe in energy because we all have to have energy, but I don't think anything supersedes God. I don't think the energy of the universe, anything supersedes God. I think he created it all. I believe in ghosts. I believe in spirits. I've seen spirits. And I just believe that if we think in our little bitty body, that's a grain of salt in the ocean compared to any existence on earth, if we think we know everything that's going on, we dumb as we don't even know everything that's going on in LA. Well, you don't tell me what's going on in Mars.
That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. I'm like, y'all are not really that smart, man.
Think about this. This has not even left Compton, but they gonna sit there and tell me about the universe and energy. If you have never been on a plane, if you have never been on a train, if you have never left your area code, don't ever bring up energy and universe and anything like that to me, because I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear it.
That is some funny stuff, bro. Yeah,
but it's right. Like, but in LA, you missed the main thing.
Bro, they're always talking about everything else, right? They're like, yo, this, that. I'm like, bro, how can you guys even speak on this, man? Y'all,
I don't contest it because think about this. We both probably got enough that we still can learn about our faith.
100%.
If we focus on that, we're not going to have time to, like, I can't dispute everything in the Bible. Why am I going to try to come after the Dalai Lama? I don't know enough about mine.
Yeah.
To go after Buddhism or Muslim or somebody that don't believe in God at all. Like, God didn't create us to perfect the saints. He didn't create us to force people into religion. He created us to be a light. So the more I turn up in MMA, the more you turn up in boxing, the more I'm blessed, the more my basket is full. God said, know them by their fruit, not know them by their mouth. Talk big about how they got this, like, oh, I got these businesses, but their fruit basket is empty. So at the end of the day, when you got a full fruit basket, somebody gonna come ask you, how you get all that fruit in your basket? And that's your chance to say God. Yeah. That's what I like does.
That's what I
like draw.
That's what I said. Yeah. God will always give you a chance just to give him glory. He's gonna open up a door. Like, if you keep doing things right and you got those fruits in your basket, like, I always feel like it's after all my fights, right? I just get this sense of, I have to give thanks to God. Like, I have to give him the glory. Like, it'll just hit my mind. And then I'll be like, oh my gosh, give glory to God. God did this for me. Like, I always got to do it. Like, it's just in my heart to do it. So
don't ever stop doing that, dog.
Never, ever. Man, never.
Go watch my first 10, 15 fights. And at the end of it, you see me in the screen going, to God be the glory. What? You don't know what I'm saying probably, but now that I'm giving you the words, go back and look at that.
I am.
When that shifted from to God be the glory, what? That's what I said. Every fight.
Hey, that's hard.
Same thing.
That's
hard.
That
went from that to this, to this, to this. And guess what happened? The L start coming.
Oh, man.
Never shift that, because people don't want to hear that. They want to hear, I'm the man, you suck. I'm going to knock you out in the first round. Watch this. Oh, your mama stink. They want to hear that. Damn, I'm watching that, because the way he said makes the fight going to be that much better.
Right. But what about how the actual fight is, though? You know what I mean? Like, let's watch the fight. Let's see how good that is. But yeah, there's a way to spice up the fight. I mean, I think you can do both, but just do it yourself. Like, if I think I'm a really
if I thought I'm gonna really beat him, I'm gonna say I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yeah, if it's in your,
but I really believe it,
right? Yeah, if it's really,
but I believe it.
Yep, exactly.
But if I feel like you got a glass chin, if I feel like you know what, it's a tough fighter, man. Shit, this is good, and I'm just gonna try to be a little bit faster. I'm gonna try to be first, and I'm gonna be prepared for everything because he good. If I really feel that, I'm gonna prop the dude up.
The best thing you could do in the fight game is be honest with yourself and the fans. If it is gonna be a good fight, like you said, I said, yo, he's a tough dude. Like he's gonna be a tough dude, but I'm still feel like I'm gonna knock him out. Like I'm going to knock him out. That's going to happen. Like because I truly believe it, and you know what I mean. You can't go wrong with that. Shoot.
Yeah. I mean, you would have to prop the dude up if he deserve it. If he deserve it, prop him up. But then also say, I feel like I'm still going to beat him. So when you actually do what you said, which now you've spoken into existence, you also gave him enough credit. We're like, damn.
So he could still feel good after he lost.
No, not even about him. The viewers are going to be like, damn, that person that you said X, Y, Z about, he beat that.
Right.
You made this person your equal opponent. Before then, they meant he a wash. He was supposed to win that.
It's like having an opponent and be like, you know what, he's good, but you're like, oh, he sucks. Like he sucks, man. Like he's trash.
So if you beat him, you beat a garbage guy.
And then you beat him like you said he was trash.
Yeah. So what's the point? You're gonna be like, it's the greatest fighter ever, and then you're gonna knock him out, and then you make yourself look better.
Yeah, I know, right? Shoot.
You know what's funny? I did this interview, and I go back, and I was at a point in my career, I just felt like everybody was against me. Like I ain't trust nobody. And I think the UFC, they got tired of me, man, at one point in time. And I had the belt, so they was like, man, we got to deal with this. But he getting on my nerves, man. He always think we against him. No, this is just the next opponent. We're not trying to set you up.
Right.
So I was fighting Wonderboy, right? And I felt like I had beat him the first time. Like I battered him two of the 5 rounds, and then one round was close. So I'm like, I thought I won the 3rd round. So if I obviously smashed 2 rounds, I won the 3rd. We ain't even got to talk no more.
No.
That's 3 rounds to 5. I won, right? Mm-hmm. So I had to do a rematch against him. It was hard enough. I told you how much I spent training for him, right? But we was doing the side-by-side interview before COVID, when they was like, if a motherfucker thought they was going to fight each other or something, which nobody's going to fight Wonderboy. Come on now. So we was side-by-side, and Wonderboy was like, he was like, you know, I said, because I'm the best. And he was like, yeah, that's what we're going out there to prove. I said, are we going out there to prove I'm the best? And he was like, no. He said, we're going out to prove I'm the best. I said, no, you fooling yourself. And then I said, no, I said, no. I said, no, you going out there to fool yourself. And then I started laughing, and then he started laughing with me. He was like, man, why you so mean? But it was like one of the most pure kid elementary playground face-off things ever. But it was a real moment. And I actually had him wrong, though. I had to apologize to him later because he was just really that nice. I wasn't like I'm playing like I'm goody two-shoe, but really I'm like behind the scenes. Yeah. So I don't like the fakeness, man. I'm about respect and just realness. So I thought he was kind of being just a little fake, and I was wrong. That was really him. So, you know, I had to apologize to him.
Right.
Hey, before we wrap this up, do you plan on making any more music? Because you got a track with Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, I play out a little something. I got a track that I'm working on right now.
Okay.
Maybe I will.
You got the Logic session open?
Yeah, I got some shit. I be waiting to put it out because people be hating and shit. So it's kind of like I always wrap my song around something that makes sense to wrap it around, and that showed me that it's benefited. But now I'm about to just do diarrhea drop. I'm about to drop.
Diarrhea drop. He's dropping shit.
I'm just gonna drop because I got too many songs that I may not feel that way about later on.
Right.
I'm gonna play out a snippet of shit I just did.
Ooh, okay. Okay, Tyron. Okay, Tyron. You gotta send me some of your music. I need to hear some.
You at the crib of the last year. Me and my niggas is popping. We made a mill out the projects. Tell me what I
Keep going. I need to hear something. Come on, keep going.
That's too much.
So I did this track with shout out to Make a Sound, Hitmaker, Krishan. Phenomenal guys, almost pushing 300 million records collectively. So they reached out to me to do some music, to produce. to help with the creative process. So we did a couple crazy hits. This one we're gonna probably try to license because it's got such an anthem and it's almost like talking back and forth. So it's like, I'm telling you, let's go big, Ryan. And you say, no, you telling me, let's go big. And it's all about leveling up. So when you think about like a college football, you think about an NBA drive, you think about a Big 12 or a Big 10 thing, it's a kind of an anthem joint. So I think we're gonna kind of license it. But
Chosen One mixtape.
Oh,
yeah. I got something coming up. I got like 7. I'm doing like a 7-song EP. And I'm gonna call it Comeback Season. And it's just talking about life, reflective, just about the struggle, being at the top, being at the bottom, being real. And I'm at a really real place, and it feels so good to be yourself. Like I can wake up every day, and I know I'm solid. I'm a buck. I ain't doing nothing to prove or to change. I ain't let nobody take I take it back. I let somebody take my energy yesterday. They got out of pocket, but normally I'm to the point in my life where I'm mature enough to like, all right, cool. You feel that way? We'll feel that way. You know, I'm not gonna. You gotta let them motherfucker make you mad.
No,
I was letting people
then he's
make me
controlling
mad.
you in a way. Because then he's controlling you.
Yeah, or she. You know how that go.
Or she, yeah.
You know, so at the end of the day,
it's usually she.
Mostly she. That's it.
So we got some fan questions here. This one's from Theo S. He's from Germany. He wants to know, what are your future plans in fighting? He's from Germany.
My future plans in fighting is at the end of shout out to Germany, Guten Tag. My coaches at the end of my training camp, they told me, we haven't seen this Tyron in a very long time, and we glad to see him back. And they said, but I want to let you know, you got another level, you got another gear you can actually hit. Because what you got to see, I see the explosive punches, but what I'm actually capable of and what I actually train and what I actually look like sparring, what I actually do, so many different angles, body work, in close, over the top, counter, volume, jab. Nobody really seen a jab in boxing. In the gym, I'm jabbing like I'm killing the body, and fighting sometimes I don't do it. Same thing with the grappling, same thing with the offensive wrestling, and even elbows and knees and kicks that you never really see me throw. Every time I kick somebody, they fall. I mean, you can go back and look. And when I kick them, they go down. Wonderboy, Jake Shields, Carlos Condon, ACL was torn. When I kick for real, people go down. Why I don't kick more? I don't even know. I just don't think about it. So just being cautious of my weapons and my tools and my abilities and my coach's structure and my training. Why? All right, I need a takedown every minute. Nope, you didn't get it. That round didn't count. Oh, Tyron, kick. Why you tired? Jab, kick. 1, 2, kick. 1, 2, 3, kick. Jab, jab, kick. Fake jab, kick. Kick. Right hand, left foot, kick. Some kick. And you tired of kicking, but what happens when you get in a fight? You get tired and you start kicking, right? They make you kick when you're tired, so you're naturally going to do what you train. Right. So you get tired, you start chopping the legs down. So guess what? Now you slow him down. Now he on your, bring him down to where you at. Now let's see where we at. You know what I mean? Exactly. So I think that to answer his question, I see more fighting for me. I do need a vacation. I haven't been on a vacation just to go. All my vacations have been work related, probably for the last 10 years. So I want to go somewhere small, maybe in the United States. I want to go somewhere like, maybe kind of destination. Then I want to go like to Rome. So I want to kind of level it up, bing, 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 and go to like Rome and just see where the original warriors got down there, and just say, maybe that'll spark something, and then just come back and just go kill, man. All I care about is performance right now. I don't care about trying to get to a belt again. I don't care about who I fight. I don't care about super fights. I care about performance, because that's something I know I can control.
I love that, bro. All right. All right. Chris on YouTube, he's asking, what motivates you to work harder every day?
Somebody said something to me that made a lot of sense, and it caused me to put perspective to it. So if I train every day, or I do something, whether it's TV, YouTube, breaking out notes, looking at film, boxing, wrestling, training, versus climber, aerodyne, Peloton, mitts, karate, whatever I do, if I do something every day, I become better every day. So when I was saying I wanted to be the best, that means on the days I chose not to get better, my actions wasn't living up to what my words were saying. If I took a 3-month break because I needed to get away from the sport so I could come back and love it, I let 3 months go by where people was catching up to where I was at. If I got injured because, you know what I mean, I did something, I was training crazy, or I didn't invest the time in corrective therapy because I'm punching wrong and my hips are off place, so my body's absorbing shock in the wrong spot. That's why I kept getting injured. because my whole body was off balance. So when I threw my right hand, my hand was taking the force instead of my entire body distributing it. That's why you break and you tear, right? So now those 3 months I'm down, I can't train. My opponents, future opponents, next opponents, 5 from now, they can. If I'm taking breaks off because I'm arguing on the damn phone, I don't feel like training today, I'm gonna take the morning off, but I'll make it up. I'm mentally not there again, right? Yeah. So many different things and energy I was pouring into personal life and luxury and, shit, private life, love life, whatever you think about. Had I poured that into my bag, into my profession, into my craft, I think I would have been so far away from people that I would have walked away the way I saw it in the beginning. So now it's like, I recognize that it's not too late. So I don't have time to really focus on who, when, where, how. I just need to say maximum bag, yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Now I got this last thing I want to say. All right. If you could call out anyone right now, who would it be and why? You got 30 seconds. You're on the clock right now.
I want everybody that got my name on their resume, because in my best, nobody would have ever beat me. If I can go on a spree, I would want to start from you can shuffle randomly. Anybody who has a victory over me would be my number one sweetest revenge, to get back out there and fight them, because I've never lost a fight and I feel like I was going 100%. I've never lost a second or a millisecond of a fight moving forward. And I allowed a lot of people to feel like they could be in there with me. And then when I didn't spark off and pop off, then they said, I'm going to go. And I just hate that I let them have it. I ate it. I've been sitting on it my whole career, but I just always known in my heart that nobody ever beat me. I always beat myself. And I would want to go after that more than belt, more than money.
Love that, man. I love that.
Best call out.
I just appreciate being on the podcast. I appreciate you as just a young man showing these other young men, the future young men, that you can do it the right way. And you kind of, whether you want to be or not, you kind of an inspiration to a lot of people. My son knows who you are, and he hardly knows anybody. And I just love when I see a young man turn up and he still can get all the spoils, but he still can stay true to what he is. So I'm thankful that you brought me on. I look forward to us chilling out, hanging out, building a stronger friendship, and, getting in there and training too, man. I still got the speed in them hands. I got to challenge some of these people with the speed.
Let's do it.
I be watching them and I be like, I got them. I ain't saying you, but some of the other people that's been participating.
You have to see the speed in person, man. It's different, man. It's different. Everybody's different.
I agree, and I look forward to it.
Yeah, all right. We'll see you soon, Tyrone. Thank you, bro. Love you, man. Thanks to my guest, Tyron Woodley.
My dog.
Amazing,
we about to link up soon.
Yeah, we're gonna link up soon. We gotta just hang out. Not even no boxing, nothing. Hang out, talk it up. We're gonna do that. That's for sure. Hit me up right after this. But you can find my boy on Instagram and Twitter at @TWoodley. Everybody go follow him. Thanks to everyone out here listening and watching the podcast. Keep the comments and your questions coming. It's great hearing from you all, and we appreciate the support. Follow, like, and subscribe wherever you watch and listen to podcasts. And this is us signing out. Fierce Talk. Let's get it.